If you are considering new construction for anywheres in Florida, especially South Florida, I want to introduce you to one of the nicest communities in all of the land. It's in the community of Avenir, and this week we're going to look at the sub-community of Coral Isles at Avenir. Coral Isles, Avenir, Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Realty. Welcome. If this is your first time to our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button there over in the corner. While you're at it, ring that bell. What that'll do is notify each time we put out a new video. We put out new videos every single week. We talk about all things going on around Florida, so if you're wondering what it's like to eat, sleep, and drink anywhere in Florida, especially South Florida, this is a channel for you. 15 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honor to help people, perhaps like you, do exactly the same thing. So if you're thinking about moving to this area and you want to get some advice, you have questions, and you want to get answers from people who have actually done it before, well, there's a couple ways to reach out to our team. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. Two of the best ways is in the description and the comment section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that's going to set up some time for us to speak, either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. We have helped so many people relocate to Florida, and we absolutely love it. So if you are thinking about buying new construction homes here in South Florida, you might or might not have heard of Avenir. If you haven't, you need to know. It's one of the nicest new construction communities in all of South Florida. And within Avenir, there is this sub-community that I think you want to know. This sub-community, maybe the best in all of Avenir, is called Coral Isles. One of the things that strikes me about this community is the entrance here. Right down the street is, we're on Avenir Drive. Right here is Avenir Drive. On the other side is Coconut, is the road Coconut. They're opening that up. It's their intention to open Coconut all the way up to Beeline Highway. It's their intention to take Seminole Pratt Whitney all the way up to Beeline. They're going to make this because they need to, because when you put roughly 4,000 homes here, you need to do it. But one of the things that's striking when it comes to Avenir is the entrance, and you can't see it from here, but I'll drop some in my B-roll. Like right down this way is the entrance to Avenir Drive. It is exquisite. It's one of those things that when you approach this community, you know you're heading into something very special. When Avenir is finished, we are going to have a total of 3,950 homes here. This is one of the first builders. The builder here is Kenko. If you come from North Lake Boulevard and then you turn into Avenir Drive, the very first community you come across is Coral Isles, right across the way from the Toll Brothers community of Watermark. Watermark is already sold out. These guys are the first builders here within Avenir. However, here at Coral Isles, there are still homes available. And when you're talking about high-end at Avenir, the #1 builder you should think of is Coral Isles. So we get a lot of people from all across the country, all across the world. And Avenir, I always tell people, you need a higher budget when it comes to Avenir. But even more so, when it comes to Coral Isles, you're going to need even more of a budget. Here, they're more of a custom builder. The quality is extremely high. So if you are looking at Coral Isles, their homes here are somewhere between $2 to $3 million. There are 107 homes here at Coral Isles. They're about 2/3 sold. So they're getting towards the end. Here we are in 2023. I fully expect them to sell out this year. This community, Coral Isles, across the way Watermark, Wingate, Latieri, which is right down the street, they will all share that one clubhouse, the one that's built. So if you want to move into a community where you can already start accessing all the amenities, well, Coral Isles is one of those communities. One of the things that a lot of new construction is doing these days, in order to keep the HOA lower, because that seems to be a theme, new construction is trying their best to make to keep the HOA on the lower end. Here at Coral Isles, despite the fact that it's a high-end builder, their HOA here, away from the master for the sub-community, is $183 per month. So there is a CDD here at Avenir as a whole, but there's a misconception as to what that CDD represents. I sat down with the builders a couple of weeks ago. They clarified a few things. So like in most communities, you have a sub-HOA and you have a master HOA. The master HOA here is extremely low. It's like $18 a year. So because of it, that really goes into what we call the CDD. They will be responsible for all of Avenir here to take care of all the stuff in the master community. So that's why the CDD is as high as it is. It's roughly a little bit over $5,000. It depends per year, and depends on which community that you're in. I have a way of looking up if you have questions about whether you're talking Avondale, Watermark, Wingate, Coral Isles. There's a formula for each community in terms of the CDD. It's all a little bit close. Call our office if you want to know how we're doing it, even if you're not considering Coral Isles. And let's say you just bought into Avondale, give our office a call. We can give you an idea as to how they're calculating it and what that's all about. So that CDD goes into your taxes. It's in lieu of that master HOA. So that is one of the things that we find that many buyers, many people looking at Avenir and considering buying here in Avenir don't really understand. Here's an example of what they do to keep the HOA low. This is what they call a virtual gate. So a lot of the new construction, they go to this. It's a company called Avenir, and what they do is you throw your driver's license in there, and there's a security guard somewhere, God knows where, and he will be asking you questions, who are you here to see. Right now the gates are open because they're still building homes here, but once the community is getting close to turned over, in fact, this community, I know from clients I have that live here already, or getting ready to move in here, that they have closed it from time to time. So, but once the community's closed, those gates will be closed, and that is the way that they'll have the gate, as opposed to a man gate, which is a much more expensive. This is one of the ways they control the expenses here at Avenir and the community of Coral Isles. So I just met with the builder. We did a Dusty Boots tour of the Cozumel. There's a Cozumel, one of their models, which is currently under construction, and I seen it in its framing type of stage, and it looks brilliant. The loft on that model is tremendous. It's huge. The pool that the guy built back there. Now you can have them build your pool. The people at Kenko, the builders, the pool is tremendous. It's probably less money if you do it on your own. Call our office if you want to know more about that. The pool is something a lot of clients we find are trying to navigate, but this particular pool is very big, and the price tag on it is probably, this is my guess, probably north of $200,000. Pools have gotten more expensive. If you're going to do a custom pool today, expect to pay more money. If you want some tips on what you can do to save some of that, reach out. So I started talking about this community a long time ago, and I was saying in my very first video about Avenir, get in on the ground floor. You know, I hate to say this, but it is not, I don't hate to say, I am going to say it. It is still very early here. We have the builders, the communities I just talked about. You have Coral Isles, Latieri, Wingate, Watermark. You have Avondale. You have coming soon, later this year in 2023, is Solerna Bay, which is Akel Homes. There are some homes that are being built by the builder GL Homes. That's expected to come later this year. Their town center is breaking ground literally any day from now, and they're going to build some townhomes near there. I am hearing from a good source that the builder there for those townhomes are mad at me, and you'll say, why are they building townhomes in such a high-end area? Well, it's because it's going to be right near the town center, and they want to make good use of that space. So it sort of makes sense. There aren't going to be a ton. It's similar to like Alton. If you go to guys who, if you know Palm Beach at all, there's a community up over in Gardens off Donald Ross Road called Alton. In fact, I'll even go one step further. The town center that they're talking about building here in Avenir, they want to emulate something similar to the Alton Town Center over on the other side of Palm Beach Gardens. What's great about this community is that it's in a great location. It's west in Palm Beach Gardens, but to get to all the things that Palm Beach Gardens has to offer is pretty close. Palm Beach Gardens has downtown at the Gardens. You have the Gardens Mall, which by some people's standards, it is the nicest mall in Florida. You have that going there. You have two areas off PGA Boulevard, which are really nice, that if you live in this area, or if you live in the Gardens area, you will find yourself frequenting. That is the PGA Commons, which is off PGA Boulevard, the main drag through Palm Beach Gardens. And also across the street from PGA Commons is another place called Midtown. There is no shortage of shopping when you live in Palm Beach Gardens. And if you want to live on the high end of Palm Beach Gardens, Avenir is a community that I would definitely consider. And if you're looking for a high end within Avenir, Coral Isles is exactly the community I would definitely consider. Here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, we do a lot of relocations. We speak to people from out of the state all the time that want to come here. I got to tell you this. If you walk into these sales centers on your own, I think you're crazy. I highly recommend that you consider getting independent representation. What that means is you have someone outside just walking in to the builder and representing yourself. Have someone that's been through the process, like our team at Living in Palm Beach. We will help you do that. And the cost to you guys out of pocket is zero out of your pocket. It is the builder who pays us, and they are happy to pay us because we help introduce people, perhaps like you, to these beautiful communities. We will be there from all the stages, from the contract. We'll help you look over. You have questions about that. We've seen enough of them. We can tell you what to expect and what they mean. You could, not from a legal standpoint exactly. We're not attorneys, but we've seen enough of these. We'll help you with the inspections. If you're up north, and we've done these before, if you're up north and you need someone to help go through the inspection with you, maybe FaceTime, we've done that. Any advice on all that? We have a transaction coordinating team who will be there throughout the process. We will help keep them accountable. You want that on your team. So my strong advice, if you're looking at new construction, whether it's Coral Isles, whether it's Avenir, or any new construction community, you should consider independent representation. So one of the things I like about this community specifically, there's a lot of things, but one of the things I like about this specifically is Kenco is a private builder. When you look at some of the production builders, Kenco is not a production builder. When you look at some of the production builders, the ones that, let's say, that are listed on the New York Stock Exchange as an example, they have investors, they have shareholders to be accountable for. So what does that mean? That means that they have quotas each quarter, and they will do not anything, but they will do a lot to meet their numbers each quarter. You don't have those things to worry about here as a private builder. They don't care if you close this quarter or next quarter. So because of that, they have a lot more latitude. For one, all things being equal, if I were buying a house, I think it's a little bit more easier to work with the private builder than a large New York Stock Exchange production builder. The other thing I like about Coral Isles is it's sort of custom-ish, again, because they're private and they have latitude to do more things on their own than these other places do that have shareholders. So they are more of a custom builder. So if you are looking at, if you see the models, we're going to put some photos of the models I was just in. They have 3 of them on site here. If you want to do this floor over here and that floor over there, you can do that. They call this a la carte. So the amenities or the features, the options, they are all a la carte. So you can pick and choose what you want to do. Their standards here at Coral Isles are very high. So what I was just talking with the builder today, and we talked a little bit about that. She asked me, like sort of like testing me, what do you think people spend here on options here? The number she gave me was very low compared to what I would have expected. Listen, if you're buying a $2 million house, and if you were to do what other builders tell you to expect, such as 10, 15%, you're looking at a lot of money. The number she gave me was significantly less, and the reason is because here at Coral Isles, and the homes at Kenko, their standard features are very high, so you don't have to spend that $200,000, $300,000 on options. In fact, you're gonna spend something even more than less than a third of that. Is the guidance I've been given. Of course, everyone's different. We'll help you on what you should choose. There is something. Lots of times, clients will ask us, "Well, I have my options appointment, Ray. What do you recommend I should do?" We can give you good guidance on that because there are certain things you need to take into account. You want to take into account how it affects your taxes, as an example. What is the cost after market to do it? Again, the pools. The pool is the one thing that we can help guide you on. But there's other stuff like stuff that can be done from a general contractor. Reach out to our office because we can help give you guidance when it buys to buying anything, whether it's Coral Isles, Avenir, or anything when it comes to new construction, not just in Palm Beach, but all of Florida. So here in this area of Florida, we're in northern Palm Beach County. There are basically three master plan communities. They're all fairly large. Here at Avenir, you have 3,950 homes. Down the way and a little bit over is a community called Westlake. We probably have more business in Westlake than any place else because it is a lower price point. Not everyone has $1 million, $2 million to spend on homes here in Palm Beach. So Westlake, you can get homes somewhere in the area of 600,000-700,000. There are 4,000 homes there. Also, alternatively, the third big master plan community is a community by the name of Arden, which is a beautiful community. There's 2,500 homes there. So between the three, that's where we're seeing a lot of our new construction builds here in northern Palm Beach County. The other place we are seeing a lot more interest to as well is is if you go north of here. If you go to Port St. Lucie. Port St. Lucie is about an hour north of here. I have a video called The Pros and Cons of Living in, actually no, it's moving to Port St. Lucie, I believe it's called. I'm getting ready to put out a video called The Pros and Cons of Living to Port St. Lucie. You can get more of a home there. It is a little bit further away. But, if that's, we're seeing people who are priced out of Palm Beach and Broward County and Miami-Dade. That's where they're going. If you're okay being a couple of hours from Miami, then people move to Port St. Lucie. We are getting much more business when it comes to the 55 and older crowd also. Here at Avenir, there's a Toll Brother communities by the name of Regency. They do a very good job. Them and there's a few others. We did a video on top 55 plus communities in this area. That was one of them we mentioned, Regency. One of the other ones we mentioned is in fact in Port St. Lucie. It's up in it's a community called Riverland. Again, great builder by name of GL. So if that's you, reach out because you can get a lot of home for your money up in Port St. Lucie. So here on site at Coral Isles, they have 3 models to look at. They're all beautiful, to be honest with you. I mean, you talk about upgrades. There's a ton of upgrades in those. The Dusty Boots tour that I took was on a home called the Cozumel. That someone in fact owns it and it's under production. I asked her if it was a spec house. The answer was no, it's not. But I can get you one of those homes. The price of that home for a fairly quick delivery is just north of about $2 million. But here's the deal. It's not just the base house. It's the base price plus the land plus the options. That's what it sort of takes to be in this community. It's a higher end community, and it's my opinion that this community will hold its value over the years. I recently did a video on Avenir, is it worth it? And I'm going to state for you why I say the value-wise I feel very good about this community. I went to another Dusty Boots tour about 2 weeks ago now at Panther National. Not a lot of people know about this. Panther National is a Jack Nicklaus course, and it's a community. It is a membership community. You have to spend $250,000 just as initiation fee for the membership. They opened it up to the public, the membership, at a premium of $100,000, so $350,000 to belong to that golf community, and they had to stop the sales because they had so much interest and they just had to cut it off. But they have houses in Panther National up the way that are going for they're starting at actually 4 million, I think at the very low end, 4 or 5 million, going up to 15 million. And there's basically a golf course in the middle at Panther National, and they have homes, roughly 200 homes around the golf course. And again, if you're in this community, and yes, you're spending a lot of money, $2 million, let's say, on a home, you have neighbors that have $5 million. That is a great way to hold your value when it comes to buying a home here in Avenir in Palm Beach Gardens, Florida. So we do a lot of relocations. As I've said before, reach out to our team. We can help set up a Zoom with the builders here. We know the builders here really well, not just here, but in other communities. We can help with set up Zooms. We can pre-register you. Do not go to the website and call the phone number. I'm telling you. It's not that it's going to hurt us. We could still represent you. But what ends up happening with a lot of these communities is if you do that, they will assign you with a consultant. One of the benefits to working with a team like us is we will help you work with one of the strongest consultants at that builder. It will make a difference. I like to go to each community, find out who works there, find out who is the one that has the most follow through, who is the strongest when it comes to knowing the community. I want you to work with that person when you're buying new construction here in Florida. The other thing I don't always say that I should say is that if you're not looking in Palm Beach, if you're not looking in South Florida, we could still help you. We do relocations all over the place. Recently, we had somebody who was thinking about here and decided on moving to Sarasota. We helped get them a realtor out in Sarasota. I have a team across the country, and if we don't have someone in our place in that area, I help interview realtors. I can help get you a realtor that can represent you, working with someone also now in Naples, Florida. So if you want to move anywhere in Florida and you want help and to get guidance from a professional who knows exactly what they're doing when it comes to relocation here to Florida, reach out to our team at Living in Palm Beach, Florida. So I've said this before. I don't do this too often, but I have to say this. I want to say this here. If I were to move, we're here now 16 years ago, and I've always said in the beginning of my videos, I wouldn't look back. But, you know, I've lived in the same home now, new construction, for a while now. And if I were to move, there are a few places I would consider. And I want to tell you, when I come across one like that, I want to let you know. And when it comes to Avenir, Avenir is definitely a community I would consider moving if I was to move. And if I were to even go a step further, if I had the opportunity, I would, if I had the opportunity to do that, if I was going to do that, also Coral Isles would be one of the communities I would definitely consider. Avenir, Coral Isles, paradise here in South Florida.